Hey, what's going on out there, everybody? In virtual land, it's your man, Rod Hickman, generational wealth builders, where poverty ends with us. Listen, on this Monday night, I just wanted to get on for a few ticks because I really want to talk about retirement, right? I know that's one of the things that, again, if you're like me, that's one of the things that's on the forefront of your mind. And even, especially with everything that's transpiring in the market, listen, I want to make sure that you and your family are protected. I want to make sure that you and your retirement are protected. So tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about 401k. I'm going to talk about how to calculate and how to understand your retirement number. Because when you start understanding your retirement number, then you know exactly what it is that you need to do and what number you actually need to hit and save so that you don't have to go back to work after you retire. Let me start off by saying this, and I hope you hear my heart when I say this, but understand this: retirement is not an age, it is a dollar amount. Absolutely. Retirement is not an age, it's a dollar amount. If you messed around and hit the lotto for $1 billion, I guarantee you, you won't be out there punching nobody clock tomorrow unless something wrong with you, right? You're going to be out there trying to spend that money and enjoy life, right? And so I want us to understand that. But with that being said, it makes no sense. And I'm going to show us that tonight. It's one of the things that I want to do. I want to show us how, if you're not properly planning for your retirement, then you're going to mess around and be in a spot where you just may not be able to effectively retire. So let's talk about a little bit about what a 401k is. So simply put, a 401k is a plan, is a retirement savings plan that is offered by your employers, right? They offer you that retirement plan and it gives you tax benefits, which is a great thing, right? It gives you those tax benefits. But guess what? It also gives them tax benefits. Now, here's what I want you to understand: that an employer does not have to contribute to your 401k. It is not written in stone. It's basically, if the company is doing well enough, they are going to contribute to it. Why? Because they get tax breaks for investing in you, right? So they're going to put a cap on how much they're actually going to pay into it. But that's what they're going to do, right? Now, there are two types of 401k plans. You have what's known as the traditional, which is your pre-tax, meaning that that's what your employer takes out. They take it out before your money is taxed, and it's reflected on the back end. And then you have the Roth IRA, or the Roth 401k, which is your post-tax money, meaning they've already taken out the taxes. So when you make withdrawal, there are no taxes, right? So understanding that there are two types. You have the traditional and the Roth. 99.9% of people actually get the traditional because they're like, hey, if I make $50,000 a year, if I squirrel away $10,000 a year in my 401k, not talking about the match, but if I squirrel away pre-tax, then I'm going to be able to now claim on my taxes 40 grand. Again, that's high level. I'm not here to give you no tax information. I'm not the tax guy. I'm just trying to help you understand the 401k. So that's a few things about the 401k. Now, what I want to do, because pictures are worth 1,000 words, and I've been told a time or two that I tend to nerd out a little bit, which I will agree with. I do that, right? But I really want you to understand. I really, truly want you to get what it is because it's important. How many times have people worked their whole life thinking that I'm going to retire, thinking I'm going to be able to live this life and just really be able to travel and do what I want to do, but then they find out, man, I got to go to work. I got to go punch a clock. And let's be honest, as we get old, like, I'm looking at 50 real close right now. And I can tell you, it's some days I don't want to go to work. I'm just being honest. So I can't imagine being in my 60s and still talking about, well, let me go get on up and hit this clock. No. Right. So again, when I retire, I want to do what I want to do. And so we have to make sure that we're preparing ourselves for that. So let me share my screen real quick because I really want you to see this actual calculator. And so here, so why is it doing that? Don't know why it's uh, vibing like that because it should not be. All right, there we go. All right, now we're good to go. Now listen. So this is an example. It's a 401k calculator. You can go out there and find your own and do your own. But what I'm using this for on tonight is to help you see the amount of money that you could have just by contributing. Now, there's a few things that go into this, and I'll talk through those as we go. But let's just say this individual is contributing 6% of their income. They have an annual income of $30,000. They get an annual increase of 2%, right? And I'm just, again, just putting some figures in there. Their current age is 25, and they're going to work until they're 65. Right now, we're saying they don't have a current 401k balance, and their annual rate of return is at 4%. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this annual rate of return. What you must understand about the market is this: the market goes up and it comes down. And what they do, they give you an average rate of return. And unless you have a guaranteed product, and even if you have that, the interest rate is going to be a lot lower than what it is right now. I just used 4% because, again, especially with what the market is doing right now, year to date, the market is down over 20%. So I'm just saying you got an average rate of return over the life of your loan, because basically what happens is if it goes up, that's one number. If it comes down, that's another number, but you still have to average those two. All right. So we're averaging out at 4%. We're saying that the employer is going to match 100% up to 6%. So it's showing us that the employer contributions is your contributions $476,000. However, if your employer didn't match, it'll only be $238,000. Now, why is that important? That's what's going to be the next slide that I'm going to show you, right? But notice this person, after 40 years with an average rate of return of 4%, only has $476,000 after 40 years. And I know you probably like, well, man, that's good money. Well, is it? Let's see. Now, as we get ready to go here, I want you to look at that. After 40 years of working and contributing, this person would only have $476,000. That is not a lot of money, folks. And this just shows year over year what that looks like. Okay, so that's that. So now we're about to transition, and this is what this whole call is about tonight. Is that going to be enough money, right? Is that $400,000 or $470,000? Is that going to be enough money? Let's see. So here I have a calculator, and what this calculator is designed to do is designed to do exactly the same thing that we were talking about then. So, and you've often heard me say a simple way to calculate your retirement is this: you take your current age and your age of retirement, right? Or you take your current age, and you need to understand how long you plan on living past the time that you retire. So in this example, right, the person is 25. Their goal is to retire at 65, and they want to live to about 90, right? That's 25 years. Now they have 40 years to invest. So let's just say that the return before retirement is 6%, and the return after retirement is 3%. And you have annual inflation of 3%. Well, we know already this year that's shot, right? But again, we're keeping it simple because I'm not trying to nerd out. I just want y'all to see what the real deal is. All right, so here we go. So if your current salary is $30,000, and let's say you get that 2% annual increase each year, right? It's going to show you that you're not going to have a whole lot of money. It's talking about your contribution is going all here. So if we come here, and this is primarily where I want to show. Now, before I do that, look here. It's saying that if you did that, this is how much you would have at the age of retirement. A little over $500,000, right? So right now, that sounds pretty good to you. And I know you like, woo, yeah, let me get that. But let me help you. What it's showing you is that at the age 65, in order to maintain the same standard of living or to have a $50,000 a year annual salary, you are going to need to have $4 million. $4 million. $4 million is a long way from $545,000. And that is the thing that we try to show folks here at Generational Wealth Builders, at Insurance Matters, Legacy Bridge Builders, all of those that have partnered with us. Listen, we are trying to show people that even though you are putting your money into a 401k and you like, I'm good, you're really not good, because you need to know how much money you need to have in order to live comfortably, in order to retire comfortably. You must know that. And so again, I want you to understand the very easiest. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do it here because I want y'all to see it, because I cannot stress to you how important this really is, that you understand what your numbers are. So let's just say that you plan on retiring at the age 65. And remember, retirement is not an age, it is a number, it's an amount of money. You retire at the age 65 and you want to live to the age of 90. So if we say equals 90 minus 65, that means that you need to have 25 years worth of funding. 25 years worth of funding. That's where the 25 years come from. So let me write that, years of funding. Now, you may live more than that. You always want to have a cushion. Now, we also are going to take your annual income. So let's say you got $30,000, or if you're at $50,000. And again, this is simple. What I just showed you the other way is calculating for inflation. We're not doing that tonight, right? But you need to understand inflation is a monster that's out there. So we're going to take that $50,000 and we're going to multiply it. Oh, hold on, I didn't hit equals. That's my bus. Equals this $50,000 times this 25 years. And so what that tells me is that this person needs $1.25 million at the time they retire in order to live for 25 years. I hope y'all seen that. Let me go over one more time, because I really need y'all to understand these numbers, because what this should cause you to do is go back and look at your numbers and say, God Almighty, man, I'm either on track, or God Almighty, help me, Lord, I ain't nowhere near on track. But we want you to be on track. So we're taking your annual income right now. Again, this is the simple calculation. Matter of fact, let me type that up here. Simple calculation. All right. The simple calculation is that you take your annual salary and you multiply that by the years of funding that you need. If this person say, well, hey, I think I'm gonna need 35 years of funding. That's what you need. You need the 1.7, right? And I know all of us are preparing for long life. But remember, all of these numbers here are without inflation. But we have to calculate for inflation, because inflation is what causes a lot of people to have to go back into the market. And we don't want you to have to go back into the job force. When you retire, we want you to be able to enjoy your life. You have built the life, you deserve it. But let me help you. The 401k was never designed to be your primary means of retirement. It just was not. It was not. As you've heard me say time and time and time again, it's like taking your money and going to Vegas, or going to Tunica, or going to Atlantic City, and you tell them to let it ride. And again, for me, I'm not a gambler, never was a gambler. But what I can tell you is this, is that I have heard that what you don't do is take your rent money to the casino. You never do that. You never take your bill money, your rent money, your car note money. You never take that money to the casino. Why? Because you can't risk losing it. And so what I tell clients all the time is, you don't risk your 401k in the market. You don't do that. If you want to invest in the market, if you want to day trade and all that, do that with your play money, right? Do that with your trick off money, whatever the case may be. But do not take your retirement money and take it to the, you don't do that. And a lot of Americans are doing that because they don't know. They simply don't know. They've been taught, get you a 401k. Companies say, hey, here's a 401k. Why do they do that? Well, the primary reason why they do that, like I told you earlier, they get tax breaks for that. So they get to write off. Remember the tax breaks, high level, what they get to do, if they give out this much money, they get to say, oh, okay, we gave this out as a contribution or whatnot into our employees' retirement plan. So, hey, you can't count that as our overall gross income. That's why they're doing it. But here's the thing, they're getting the benefit, you are not. Because then you take your money and put it in the meat grinder. And when the market does like what it's doing right now, this is where you are, right? And again, like I tell people all the time, it's easy math, because when your money is in the market, you're dealing in percentages now. You're not just dealing dollar for dollar. You're dealing in percentages. And what I mean by that is if you had $100,000 in the beginning of this year in your 401k, right about now, you should be about 80, somewhere 78 to 80. I hadn't even looked at it this week because the market has consistently been down. And so what we do here at Generational Wealth Builders is that we set up a consultation where we sit down with you and we help you come up with your numbers. And then we show you how you can get to your numbers. And what a lot of people are often amazed by, every time I show them the numbers, every time I show them that you can retire comfortably, they're like, for real. That's the first thing they always say. Because again, retirement in a lot of our minds is such a far off concept. And it's all because we have not been introduced to products and services that can help us actually retire. But that's why Generational Wealth Builders is here. That's why insurance matters. Lady Eleanor Glover, there in the grand old city of Memphis. That's why we're here. Bobby and Tiffany Clary right out there in Burleson, Garland area with Legacy Bridge Builders. That is why we are here, because we are able to help you out. One of our newest agents that has come online, Lady Sharon Russell, is here to help you be able to get where you need to get to. And it's not as difficult as you think. A lot of people think it's difficult. I'm never going to understand. It is not as difficult as you think. We work with top providers around this nation. And we make sure that your money goes into the places where it needs to go. And you don't have to worry about losing a thing. Absolutely. Notice what I say. You don't lose a thing. You don't. And so that's where we wanted to let you all know. And I hope that you all will hear this. I hope you'll like it. I hope you'll share it. But more importantly, as I always say, knowledge is not power until it's applied. And I say that every time, because you can have an 18-wheeler truck, and if it's in neutral, you can rev that engine all you want to, and it's just gonna look at you like, yeah, all right, we just gonna sit right here and do nothing, huh? But once you mess around and put that thing in gear, then you start to see that power and that truck starts taking off. And I say that to say, a lot of you hear this stuff and you're like, well, I don't know, well, this, that, and the other. Guess what? You have the knowledge, but it's not power. It's not working for you. You have to reach out to us. You have to set an appointment so that we can talk, whether you can come in the office, whether we can do it by Zoom. You need to set an appointment. It is not going to just get better. I promise you. I promise you, it is not going to get better, because if it was going to get better, it would have already gotten better. All right. Well, listen, that's all I wanted to share with you all on tonight. I hope I didn't nerd out too much. I get that a lot, but I hope that you've heard our heart. I hope that you understand exactly what it is that we're doing and how we're trying to help families save, grow, and make money. And so we want to help you. So again, you can inbox me, call me, whatever you want to do, but reach out to me. Do not let your 401k, do not let your nest egg just sit there and continue to mildew, right? Let's do something with it. Let us help you Let us help you protect that, and let us help you be prepared for your retirement. It's your man, Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders, where poverty ends with us. Again, we want you to know that we are here to help you. May the Lord bless you. Y'all have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.